What did we see on top of the mountain? Come along with me.
Hi, Michelle here from Travelling Over 60. Come join me on this adventure.
We did our signature experience in the morning, but in the afternoon we had a freedom of choice. And before we left Australia, this is what we got to choose from. Except it didn't work out that way. Some of the choices changed. I was really set on doing the peak-to-peak gondola, but it wasn't open at this time of year, and the snowcat adventure had been cancelled. So we decided just to do the normal gondola with an extra surprise this afternoon. If you watched my video from the cultural centre, you would have seen it was -1 degrees in the morning. Now it warmed up a little bit, but then we went to the top of the mountain. It was freezing up there. Just checking our layers we're wearing. That's changed a little from this morning. We have jeans, woolly socks, but we put on our walking shoes. We have a t-shirt, a jumper, and I've put on my jacket. We also got our scarf and a hat for our head. Nice woolly beanies, we call them in Australia. Oh, and let's not forget our gloves. We're going to need those. Here we go. We're about to take a trip on the gondola. Here it is. Cute little gondola. Great. Now if you come skiing, that's where your skis are going to go. Just looking at the edge here, it's just a very small lip. But one thing you need to know, it keeps moving when you have to get on. And here we go. Woo, moving. Now we get inside and we take our seats. We have just a few minutes and they close the door for us, make sure we're in securely, and then off we go up the mountain. Now, I'm going to apologise here. Not my fault, but the window was really scratched up and it made for videoing not so nice. Now you can see as the sun comes on it here how scratched it is. But my husband has a theory on why those windows are scratched.
Pity all the scratches on the wall.
Yeah.
That's if people trying to claw themselves out.
I don't think so. It's a long way down. I'm not so good with heights. Now over there you can see there's a little bit of snow. We were hoping we were going to see more snow than just that little bit there. Now we kept continuing up the mountain and it does get quite steep. And just off to the right hand side there you can see the open chairs. Call me crazy, call me scaredy pants again, but I certainly would never get on that. I'm just thankful I'm in an enclosed little car. We continue up the mountain, and at this spot we started to get a little bit confused. It was about 6 minutes into the timing of travelling up the mountain, and we came across what seems to be a stop. Now, we weren't sure if we were meant to get off here or if it was to go on further. You can see my husband pointing. He wants to go right up there where the snow is. We're hoping that we're able to do that. And we did see people get on with skis. So let's see what we have to do. It did pull into this stop and it stopped. The doors opened, but no one was getting off. We really looked like we were confused. And so the lady came over and spoke to us and explained it was just stopping there for a moment and then we would continue on up the mountain. It wasn't stopped there very long and the doors closed and off we went again. But boy, did it pull out of that station fast. Again, I'm sorry at how scratched up the window was, but if only you could see how fast that carriage in front of us went out. It was like being shot out like a bullet. Oh wait, that's only how it felt to me. Now, I have a question and hopefully you can answer in the comments below. If you look to the right just in front there and over here to the left, there is a clear tunnel. You'll get a better look of it now. A clear tunnel that we have no idea what it is. Remember, we're from Australia and we don't see snow very much unless we go to the snow. So please, if you know what it is, comment in the comments and we'll learn something from you. Okay, the confusion's gone. We're happy now. We're going to be travelling right up to the top of Whistler Mountain, and they told us there is a cafe up there as well. So we're looking forward to that. There's a bit more snow around the further up we go, and if you look off to the right here, you'll see that the snow's definitely getting thicker. So as we see the snow getting thicker and we see the skiers coming down, we know we must be getting close to the top. Oh wait, now I look in front, you can see we still have a fair bit to go. Looking over to the right, you can see a little cabin. You can see how much snow is on the roof. But let's keep going, we've still got a little bit to go. I'm really quite surprised at how much snow is still around in May. And there's still a lot of people around that are skiing. Take a look at these skiers here. They all look so very, very young. Or is that because I'm old? And then finally, we see the stop coming up. I think they call it a station, but we can see it coming. Now, we've been on the gondola for about 20 minutes. So from the bottom all the way to the top took approximately 20 minutes. Now just off to the left there I can see it is called a station. This is the Roundhouse Station. It's a little bit bumpy coming in and a tiny little bit of a jolt when it comes to the stop. Okay, let's go and see what's around here. We made it all the way to the top. Some bits were a bit scary. I'm not good with heights, but look what we've come to see. This is May in 2024 and there's snow. Now that sky's looking a little bit moody, so we decided to get our selfie in front of the Olympic rings before it started to rain. Here is an important tip for you. Now if you know that there's snow on the mountain, you need those walking boots. We have friends up there that just have runners on that fell in the snow. Your walking boots will give you grip. Now I did so much research and I had a plan. I wanted to do the peak to peak. I had planned that we would start at Whistler down in the town and then travel up on the gondola. I didn't know how long it would take, but it took us about 20 minutes. And then we would stop at the stop there, which was the Roundhouse Station, and I knew there was a cafe there that we would go and have a coffee or something. And then I wanted to do the peak to peak. That's this blue line across to Blackcomb Mountain. Now, the sad thing is the peak to peak wasn't open because of the time of year. So we did have a plan that we would also catch the gondola from the Blackcomb Mountain down to the ground again, back down to near where Whistler Town was. But it didn't happen, and that's what happens when you travel. You have to be flexible. So now we would make a new plan. We decided we would just wander around, watch some of the skiers that were skiing down the slopes. As you can see over here, there's still plenty out skiing. But that plan changed too. If you take a look at the sky here, It is starting to get a bit gloomy, and we decided it's time to then take a break and go and check out what the cafe looks like. Let's go. Before we head inside, I thought it was a good idea to get this picture in case I don't see a bear. But wait, another one inside? And I found Australia on this one. Oh no, look where it is. I hope this isn't what Canadians think of the Australians. Time to keep moving. Let's see what we find here. Now from down the bottom of the stairs, there's the stairs just over to the right is the lift. I'll show you around here. There's bathrooms and also there's the lift. Elevator as they call it here. We decided to take the stairs and there was a lot of them, but there is a railing. When you got up to the top, the ground is all flat. Over to the left here is a coffee shop with a few little bits and pieces. Now just back to the stairs again. Over to the left here is where the lift comes up. So I'll just take you over and show you exactly where it is. It just looks like a door, but it's the actual lift. Now back to where the coffee shop is. To the right, a few little chairs. And looking at the ground, as you can see, it's really quite flat. No problems with accessibility. Now, we were quite shocked at all these tables and chairs. I thought it was just going to be a little tiny cafe. This little bit of floor here, you can see it's like carpet, easy to get around. Just looking at the tables again, and that's the back door to go outside. Over to the right is where you're going to get your food, and they have things like sandwiches, hot dogs, pies, just things like that. But you can discover that for yourself. Now, after we had something to eat and drink, we came out through the back door, and this is what we found. How amazing is this? A huge area to sit outside, lots of tables and chairs, and a bar off to the left. But I want you to notice the sky. It's crazy. Clouds there, and then the sun's shining, but then look over this way. It looks like it's about to pour on us. Actually, I think it is raining in the distance there. Coming back up to where the tables and chairs are, I just want to show you about getting down. Now, there is stairs there, but as you can see, they have ramps as well, so it's very accessible. We had a little wander around. There was another observation platform here where you could stand there and take some amazing photos. We were really amazed at how much snow was around at the time. Mind you, we've only been to the snow 4 times in our lifetime. Oh look, time for another selfie, this time with the Inukshuk. Now, I'm not going to tell you. I don't like to tell you and show you everything. That will have to be part of your adventure, discovering what it is. I know I don't show you the scenery either, but I must have taken 100 photos up here. The mountains were amazing. I've never seen this before. Well, not in Australia anyway. So we took lots of photos, and we did take some time out to go and play a little bit in the snow. Just a word of warning, be careful, because it's slippery. We did have one person slip over. I was so glad we took our gloves up because we did play in the snow. We made snowballs and we threw them at each other just like we were 10 years old. It was a lot of fun. But like I said, be careful. It's really, really slippery. So are you liking this video? Has it helped you in any way so far? If it has, or if you're liking it, give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. Have you subscribed to my channel? Thank you if you have. If you haven't, go across and subscribe. Ring the notification bell. You only need to ring it once and subscribe once. And then YouTube will let you know each time I put a new video up. You won't miss anything. Anyway, Let's keep going and see what else we did on top of the mountain. Something to note, might even be a little bit of a hazard. You're at an elevation of 1,809 metres and you might start to feel the effects of the altitude. So you might have a bit of a headache, maybe your ears are blocked, a little bit dizzy, bit short of breath, your nose is probably running, and you could even feel like you have a cough. I started to get a little bit nervous as the weather started to creep in around us. I was really worried about going back down on the gondola. I'm not good with heights, and I could see the wind was blowing. I didn't want it to be rocking and rolling. So it was time for us to go over to the station and make our way down to the village. We've got one more thing to do.
Oh, windows open. Do you want these open?
Not particularly. Oh, careful, this goes really fast, Warren. Holy moly. Did I mention I'm not very good with heights? Oh, and the speed either. It looks so easy snowboarding down the mountain, but then they're walking all the way back up. As we were making our way back down the mountain, there was a few spots where I got really nervous, but then something happened that distracted me. We have to drive quite a way to get to our snowfields, and I've only seen this once before. It's snowing.
I saw some little flakes. I can see it here.
I know you can hardly see them, but I was excited. Now if you look really hard, it's snowing! If you can see the little white flakes. The glass in the gondola, or its perspex, is terrible. There's scratches all over it. I apologise for that. But you can see through it. Hopefully you can see the little tiny snowflakes. Not much, but it's still snow. Downhill.
Oh yeah, steep downhill.
It's like we're about to fall off the edge. Oh my God, Warren.
It's a steep downhill.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know that I want to watch this. The things I do for my video. Oh, that makes me feel really, really sick. Well, this is a bit hairy. Call me old, call me scaredy pants, but I don't like this at all. Okay, distraction from the height, and let's just have a look at the view. Whew, that's your sneak peek for now. Okay, we're nearly back down to the village and we're starting to get a little bit excited, or maybe it's a little bit nervous. We've booked another adventure. We're off on a helicopter ride. Now you may have noticed I circled the Mountain Jeep Safari. Well, that's because they saw a bear. But of course, I didn't see it. And this isn't my photo. Thank you to one of my fellow travellers for capturing it on the photo for me. Now, I loved what I did, but I did have a little bit of Jeep Safari envy. If you're wanting to see a bear, you might consider doing that rather than go up on the gondola. Enough of that. I still have my helicopter excursion to come, and I'm going to be looking for a bear from the air. We've filled all the official paperwork out and signed our life away. We have no idea what we've signed, but if you don't sign, you can't fly. Maybe tell me in the comments, do you read the paperwork? Now, you may be wondering if you would be able to do this if you have some sort of a mobility problem. Well, the gentleman with us used a walking stick, so as long as you can walk to the helicopter and step inside, and the staff will give you a little bit of assistance as well. But it's always a good idea to check before you book. Okay, it's time to go. Let's enjoy this flight. Okay, we've only just taken off, but the pilot told us, keep a lookout for bears. So that's what we're doing. The higher we go, the harder it is to see them. It's quite cosy inside the helicopter. Some may even call it snug. We have the pilot, two of our other fellow travellers, my hubby, and wait for it, and me. Now, our helicopter excursion only went for 15 minutes, but it's amazing how fast everything changes. We went from no snow to a small bit of snow to a lot of snow. We marvelled over this amazing mountain, and then as we rose up over the top, the view turned into this. It was just magnificent. And as we came around the side, we saw how the mountain just sheared off into the cliff face. I know, I'm showing you the view, but the helicopter excursion was quite expensive, so I thought some may enjoy it through my videos. Now, if you think that you might come and do this, look away. Maybe it's a good time to give me a thumbs up. As we started seeing less snow, I started looking really hard to see if I can see a bear. They tell me sometimes they see bears, but we were a long way up. I think I'll just sit back and enjoy the view. I don't think today's the day I'm going to see a bee. There was so much to see in such little time to see it. 15 minutes just didn't seem long enough. Now that's all our tour allowed us. So if you want more, you have to book a more expensive tour. Now, as much as I wanted more, I was really grateful in what we saw in the 15 minutes. This was my first helicopter ride, so I was really happy. But now it's time to go back to Whistler Village. One last thing to do for today. Our dinner wasn't included, and when we did our tour of the town, we found a cute little Irish pub back near these stairs. Now, if you haven't seen our tour of the town, I'll link it at the end of this video. It gives you a map of where this Irish pub was. We met up with some of our fellow travellers, and we just strolled across from our hotel to where the Irish pub was. And this is what we ordered. We started with our drinks, and then the food came out. The meals were really large and really delicious. I can totally recommend them. Boy, today's been a really full day, but we've enjoyed every minute of it. Back to our room, and then a good night's rest before we leave early tomorrow. Well, that was a lot, wasn't it? We only have one full day in Whistler, but we crammed an awful lot in it. The cultural centre, the tour of the town, the gondola up, and what we did up on the mountain, the gondola down, and how terrified I was. And then once we got to the bottom, we went for our helicopter ride, and finally our dinner. That all came across 3 videos, so hopefully you've watched them all. Our time at Whistler has come to an end, and tomorrow we're on the road again. So we'll be going from Whistler to Sun Peaks. We're only in Sun Peaks for one night, so you don't want to miss that. And maybe I'll see a bear tomorrow. Come along on my adventure and the quest to see a bear in the woods. Will it be tomorrow? Join me in the next video.